on. Okay. We're live.
Let the record reflect that we came back into regular session at 7:12. And no decisions were made. It was information only. Mr. Azinger, can you hear me? All right.
Yes, I can.
All right, great. The resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Merit Chase in an amount not to exceed $32,000. Be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Vienna that whereas the City of Vienna desires to remediate and restore the Spencer's Landing property for the riverfront and to explore various designs for riverfront improvements that will be of the most benefit to the citizens of the City of Vienna, it hereby authorizes the mayor and/or his designee to take all steps as are reasonably necessary to enter into an agreement with Merit Chase to develop a detailed, phased concept design for Spencer's Landing, building off of existing programming needs and concept design sketches provided by the City of Vienna. The objective of this property is to create a design for the Vienna riverfront, inclusive of Spencer's Landing, the 12th Street property, and the Johns Manville site, to align priorities of various landowners and uses focusing on riverfront access, programming, circulation, ecological restoration, phasing, and development opportunities. This design will also take into consideration existing conditions, the site's full history, and the work that has been done to date. Further, Merit Chase will collect and synthesize all available information to identify gaps in information and to inform concept design options. Merit Chase will create concept design options for spatial organization, circulation, materials, character, and connectivity. The total expenditure for this design agreement shall not exceed $32,000, including reimbursable expenses. I will entertain a motion for the approval of the resolution authorizing the agreement with Merit Chase in an amount not to exceed $32,000.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I think based on other discussions here, as well as information provided to council, I'm going to move to table this for consideration after basically some additional information we're waiting on. So a motion to table.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to table this. Mr. Azinger, can you hear the proceedings, sir?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to second Mr. Leach's motion to table this resolution. Is there any discussion on the motion to table?
Yeah, Spencer's Landing has been in the city's hands for well over a decade. This is a really great opportunity to move forward on actually seeing something happen down there. So to delay moving forward on this again seems, I'm not quite sure what to say actually at this point. I think that I understand that there's a lot of opportunity in the city of Vienna. And to table something that the city has been stressing and moving forward on and trying to make things happen on for a decade just doesn't make any sense to me. And I would really like to see us come together as a council to take actionable items to help improve our community.
Mr. Azinger, do you have any comments, sir?
No, sir.
All right, please.
I just want to reiterate what Mr. Mancuso said. This has been a long time coming, and I think that we can deal with things in light of new information that we've discussed. So I don't support tabling this at all. I would prefer to move forward this evening, but table seems to be the action item on the agenda this evening.
Well, just as a follow-up, since, on those substantive grounds, Yeah, Spencer's Landing has only been out of the voluntary remediation program since 2021. There's been a lot of discussion, a lot of planning. This is the first proposal from Merit Chase. I was participated in the meeting where they made their presentation and demonstrated a waterfront park. There's other actions in play, including the economic impact study. So I think that, lambasting the fact that this isn't moved forward because you want this proposal doesn't change the fact we need additional information and we want to get this right. And I've heard you guys, I've heard council members say, oh gosh, we didn't take the time to get this right. So I think there's multiple reasons to table it, and I do support the motion.
Just a point of what you just said. It's been out of the remediation program since we have our certificate of completion at Spencer's Landing since October of 2020. I attended that meeting down at Spencer's Landing.
Okay. All right. If there's no further discussion, I'll call for the question then. Would you poll council, please?
Ms. Williams?
No.
Mr. Azinger?
Yes.
I'm sorry, would you say that again, sir?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Leach?
Yes.
Mr. Rapp?
Yes.
I say yes. Mr. Bibby?
Yes.
Mr. Mancuso?
No.
All right. So that is tabled 5-2 on that. So the last item on our agenda this evening is an update on Jackson Pool. We did have our pool meeting on Tuesday. Things are moving ahead of schedule. Even the weather, which has been a little wet and cold, has not slowed the project down. They've been able to move inside on the continued rehabilitation of the equipment rooms. There are no delays on any of the equipment or materials that are needed, and they are moving on to the pump house and the tank installations, and so things appear to be on schedule, and we should be good. You were at the same meeting, comments?
Yeah, excuse me. I do want to note that there have been a couple incidents of break-ins up there, and I know the police department has been asked to go up there a little more often, but it doesn't, these recent ones were kind of minor, probably not done by professionals who do this all the time, but just if you as a member of the community happen to notice something going on up there that shouldn't be going on, after hours, please let our police department know about it.
All right. That concludes our agenda for this evening. Are there any council comments?
I would like to give a reminder to everybody that the filing period to run for mayor, recorder, and council is open right now. It started on Monday. Your last day to file is on January 27th. Filing packets are available at the front office up here at the city building during business hours.
All right. So I have, I'd like to give you all an update. Laura Bowen, who is our young lady here from WTAP, asked me about doing a end of year 2023 recap. And so I asked the department heads to give us a reminder of all the things that have happened in the last year. And hopefully, if Laura's time will permit, we will do the interview after the meeting. But for you all, I would like to share you the highlights of that. It's incredible the amount of work that our employees get done with as few as we have. And so the year 2023 has been a phenomenal year for the city of Vienna. And I compliment council. I know sometimes the road's not as smooth as we would like it to be, but we do get things done, and we still have the pride of the valley. And I sincerely believe that Vienna, West Virginia is one of the best cities in the state of West Virginia. And so just as a quick recap of the things that I've made notes about that went on, and there are many more than this, but the Vienna Utility Board projects that were all infrastructure projects that have been completed in the last year was the 45th place 4th Avenue Water Main Improvement Project. We replaced all the water lines through 45th place. There was several water breaks in that area, and so we replaced the entire water line, tied it in with 4th Avenue, which makes for better circulation, better water, and, that whole neighborhood. It's incredible when you spend money in a neighborhood that all of the neighbors want to get involved and make their properties better. And that's one of the reasons why I am so supportive of code enforcement because if you go to 45th Place, they've completely replaced that fence that enclosed up there. They've got a nice new street that looks really great, and they take super care of all of their property. So that project there was a very, very good project for the city of Vienna. We also did the River Road water main upgrade, which tied together all three of our water fields, our water main supplies. And that means that if we have an issue with one of our three well fields, that we can isolate any part of that and still supply the entire city of Vienna, Boaz, with water. And so that River Road water main upgrade was fantastic. That's the project where we got support from the Wood County Commission. And so I thank Blair Couch and Bob Teavee and Jimmy Colombo for their support. We also used ARP money for that project, and so that is a tremendous improvement for our water system in general. The 12th Street Sewer Lift Station, we replaced all three of the pumps that are down there. The pumps that we had had in there for a number of years were having maintenance issues, and if there was something went wrong, it took months to get a replacement. And so we replaced all three of those sewer lift station pumps. These are incredibly quiet. They work way better than anything we've ever had. And we also funded that project with ARP funds. So that alone makes our sewer system way better than it ever has been. We applied for the program through the state of West Virginia for the replacement of the bridges in the city of Vienna. We were approved for 5 of those. They've already started on the design work on the 17th Street Bridge. We met the other day on the 12th Street Bridge. These projects are ongoing for the next 2 to 3 years, but the replacement of those 5 bridges or the rehabilitation of those 5 bridges, they're about $1 million apiece. We have no matching grant for any of that. That will simply be taken care of, and that project is underway as we speak. We've also been able to purchase 3 new snow removal trucks to replace the old trucks. We've had pond runs surveyed and mapped. We were awarded an earmark from Senator Manchin's office for that project. When we receive the funding for that, we will start, but the dredging of Pond Run is in the works, and we have money allocated for that project. This past year, we spent $627,954.39 on concrete and asphalt for the repair and replacement of our city streets. This year, the city of Vienna, our building permit fees, $16 million. $15,988,437.33 in building permit fees for the building projects that we are either experiencing or they're done. We also have a brand new fire truck that will be delivered in 2 months. That is a replacement pumper that we're receiving with the cooperation of the Vienna Volunteer Fire Department. We are about $1 million expense on that, and with their contribution, it will be down at about $800,000 for that. So we'll have another brand new fire truck for our fleet. We've been very fortunate that due to Mr. Azinger's efforts, we have increased our police officers. I know that Chief Pfeiffer is extremely pleased. The police officers that we've got, our police department is in way better shape. Officer-wise, we've got more officers now than we ever have. And so thanks to Kathy Stoltz and the Civil Service Commission getting them approved and through all the process so fast, and the efforts of Chief Pfeiffer to keep moving our police department forward, and the efforts of Mr. Azinger, we have an outstanding police department. We had the ability to build new pickleball courts. Pickleball seems to be the premier recreation activity, and the facility that we have in Jackson Park is second to none. The lighting up there is outstanding, and so that entire area up there And now with the new addition of the swimming pool, which if everything goes according to plan, will be open by the 27th of May. And so with the new pool up there, that's a $7 million project that we've invested in the city of Vienna. One of the things that I'm very proud of is the fact that the Freedom Festival got brought back into our city. The Freedom Festival is the largest event that we put on, with the addition of 10,000 additional people in our town for the 4th of July weekend. It is incredible that we could show off all of the business and all of the restaurants and all of the living facilities that we have. It's just a great way to showcase our town. And speaking of that, we have also been selected to receive a new elementary school. And so that project is moving forward, is now fully funded. They have the $91 million that they need. And so we will be receiving a brand new elementary school. And so those are the highlights that I have. I thank every department that is in the city of Vienna for their diligence. We are very blessed to have people that truly care about the city, and they maintain all of our facilities in first-class shape. And we don't have a whole lot of department heads here this evening, but Chief Piper, I would like to ask council for a round of applause for the effort that you and all of the department heads do. All right.
I had a comment before you close out.
I was going to go back.
Really? I didn't believe you.
Oh, well, your turn, Kim. Go.
No, I just wanted to invite everybody out to the Vienna Community Building on Tuesday evening, beginning at 6:30. We're going to do this until about 8 o'clock. We're going to have a town hall meeting hosted by Councilman Mancuso and myself. Everybody's welcome. And we'll maybe talk about some economic development and comprehensive plan, a lot of these projects that been going on. So we really encourage folks to come out and give us your input. So 6:30 Tuesday evening at the Vienna Community Building. Thank you.
Oh, and I do. Thank you for doing that, Kim, because I have one more that I would like to bring to everyone's attention. In the very near future, the Vienna Public Library is going to host two events. We're going to take all of the materials that we have in the Heritage Room down to the Vienna Public Library. We have accumulated stuff over the years from various groups and various administrations and all that. And so we're going to take all of that down to the library. It'll be on display for a couple days in their meeting room. And so if you haven't had a chance to go down and see some of the history of the city of Vienna, I've asked Jack at his convenience to go down there, and he's got the Vienna book that he was part of in the development of. And if you have any questions about the history of Vienna, Jack's a encyclopedia when it comes to that stuff. And the other thing is, as soon as I can get the notice out, I'm going to invite every person that was an employee of the Johns Manville plant to come to a public meeting. I had a meeting the other day with a gentleman down at Spencer's Landing, and he told me some of the products that Johns Manville made over the years. I had absolutely no idea that Johns Manville made sight glasses for tanks. I had no clue. I had no idea that the Johns Manville facility made insulation for submarines. I had no idea. And so there is a wealth of information, of stories that are slowly slipping away because a lot of the employees that worked at the Johns Manville facility are no longer with us. And you all may not be aware of it, but the payroll for the Johns Manville facility exceeded the entire budget for the city of Vienna now. And Johns Manville hasn't been around for a long time. And for them to contribute millions of dollars to the city of Vienna and Wood County is incredible. And so we're going to send out an invitation to anyone that worked at Johns Manville to come down and just simply share your story. I would love to get some of the history of the plant. And we've got some great old photographs that we can show. And I think that we need to touch on the history of Vienna and try to keep that going. So you just watch for those notices, if you will. All
Can I
right,
make a comment?
you sure can, Tom. Go.
There's a guy named Jim Kaufman. He's about 92 years old, and he lives. I could take you to his house, but anyway, he lives up in northern Vienna, and he was a machinist down there, and he may be able to give you a lot of good information.
Oh, that's fantastic. I know Jim.
You do?
Oh, I
You know
do.
where he lives?
And anyway, we'll find what his address is, Tom, because I didn't know Jim worked at Johns Manville, but I'll follow up on that. And
Okay,
Leroy Flannery is still alive. He was the last employee that worked for Johns Manville. So we'll make sure we get Leroy involved too.
well, I just remembered where he lived.
Okay.
You know where Foxborough is, a street
Yeah.
called Fox.
Yeah.
Okay, you go north on Foxborough, and if your brakes failed, you run into his house.
Okay.
He lives- that white house right there at the end of that street. He lived there. The reason I know my son used to live there, but anyway, I just thought that might be a source of information.
Thank you. I will contact him. I will. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. If there's no more council comments, then we're done.